Shockwaves spread across the Middle East when Iran announced that it had carried out a powerful strike on one of the most important American military installations in the region, the massive Udeid Air Base in Qatar. Iranian officials declared the attack a major military success, claiming their missiles struck key sections of the base and inflicted heavy damage on American military infrastructure. According to Iranian state media, the strike was not symbolic. It was described as a calculated operation designed to hit a strategic nerve of the United States military presence in the Gulf. Within minutes of the announcement, dramatic headlines began appearing across international media networks. Iranian outlets reported that multiple missiles had been launched toward the installation and that several had successfully reached their targets. Iranian military commanders described the strike as a powerful message to Washington, saying the attack proved Iran could reach and damage even the most heavily protected US military facilities in the Middle East. Before going deeper into what Iran claims happened during this strike, how the attack reportedly unfolded, and what the United States is now saying about the damage at Udeid Air Base, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest updates on the most dramatic geopolitical developments happening around the world. According to Iranian officials, the strike on Udeid Air Base was part of a broader retaliation campaign during the escalating conflict involving Iran, the United States, and Israel. Iranian commanders stated that precision missiles were launched toward the base in a coordinated operation designed to hit key military infrastructure. Iranian media outlets quickly released statements claiming that the missiles struck important sections of the installation. Some reports suggested that operational areas of the base were hit, while others claimed that certain logistical facilities and infrastructure suffered significant damage. Iranian sources portrayed the strike as a powerful demonstration of Iran's growing missile capabilities and its ability to challenge American military dominance across the region. The importance of Udeid Air Base cannot be overstated. The facility, located southwest of Doha in Qatar, serves as one of the largest American military bases outside the United States. It hosts thousands of U.S. troops and acts as the central hub for American air operations throughout the Middle East. From Udeid, the United States coordinates missions that span multiple countries and conflict zones. Surveillance aircraft, fighter jets, refueling tankers, and intelligence operations are all managed through this massive installation. The base also houses advanced command centers that direct military activity across a wide geographic region. Because of its strategic importance, Udeid has long been considered a potential target in any major confrontation between Iran and the United States. Iranian military leaders have repeatedly stated in past years that American bases in the Gulf region would be within range of Iranian missiles if a conflict ever escalated. Now, according to Iranian claims, that scenario has become reality. Iranian state television described the strike as a successful blow against American military infrastructure. Officials emphasized that the missiles were launched with precision and that the operation demonstrated Iran's ability to strike critical targets despite the presence of advanced air defense systems protecting US bases in the region. The narrative coming from Tehran suggested that the attack was both strategic and symbolic. Strategically, it aimed to disrupt American military operations. Symbolically, it was meant to show that Iran could retaliate against what it views as hostile actions by the United States and its allies. As news of the strike spread, the entire region entered a state of heightened alert. Governments across the Gulf monitored the situation closely, aware that any attack on a base as important as Udeid could trigger a dangerous chain of reactions. Military analysts immediately began assessing what the strike could mean. If Iran's claims of major damage were accurate, the implications would be enormous. Udeid is not just another base, it is the command hub for a vast network of American military activity. Damage to its infrastructure could potentially disrupt air operations, delay missions, and complicate the coordination of forces across the region. Iranian officials continued to emphasize the scale of the operation. Statements released by military spokesmen suggested that the strike had been carefully planned and that the missiles launched toward the base were capable of bypassing defensive systems. Iranian commentators described the event as proof that American military assets in the region are vulnerable. According to these claims, the attack showed that even heavily fortified bases could be reached by Iranian missile forces. The message being sent by Tehran was clear: Iran believes it has the capability to strike major American installations when it chooses to do so. For several hours after the Iranian announcement, uncertainty dominated the global conversation. Analysts, journalists, and government officials around the world tried to piece together exactly what had happened. Then the United States began to respond. American defense officials confirmed that missiles had indeed been launched toward the Udeid Air Base. However, their description of the event differed sharply from the Iranian narrative. According to US military sources, defensive systems around the base successfully intercepted several incoming missiles, while some debris and fragments reportedly fell within the perimeter of the base. American officials stated that the damage was limited. The Pentagon emphasized that the base remained operational and that key facilities were still functioning. This statement directly challenged the claims being circulated by Iranian media about major destruction. According to the U.S. assessment, the strike did not cause catastrophic damage to the base's core infrastructure. Some areas may have experienced minor damage from debris or near impacts, but the base itself continued to operate. This stark difference between the two narratives immediately sparked debate across the global security community. On one side, Iran was portraying the strike as a powerful demonstration of military capability and a significant blow against American forces. On the other side, the United States insisted that the attack had limited impact and that defensive systems had prevented serious destruction. Situations like this are not uncommon during periods of conflict. Competing narratives often emerge as each side seeks to shape public perception and maintain strategic advantage. Iran benefits from presenting the strike as a major success, demonstrating strength and deterrence. At the same time, the United States seeks to reassure allies and maintain confidence in its defensive capabilities. For American commanders, acknowledging limited damage while emphasizing operational continuity sends a clear signal that the base remains functional and that U.S. military power in the region has not been significantly weakened. Despite the conflicting claims, one fact remains undeniable. The strike itself represents a major escalation in the ongoing confrontation. Targeting Al Udeid Air Base crosses a significant threshold. The installation is one of the most important pieces of American military infrastructure in the Middle East. Even limited damage to such a base carries symbolic weight and raises serious questions about how tensions in the region might evolve. Military planners will now analyze the attack carefully, understanding how the missiles were launched, how defensive systems responded, and what vulnerabilities may exist will be critical for future strategy. The Gulf region is filled with American military facilities, and the security of these bases remains a central concern for us defense planners. At the same time, diplomatic efforts are likely intensifying behind the scenes. Regional governments hosting American forces will be deeply concerned about becoming targets in a widening conflict. Qatar, which hosts Al Udeid Air Base, suddenly finds itself in the middle of one of the most dangerous geopolitical confrontations in years. Energy markets are also watching closely. The Gulf region is the heart of global oil production, and any escalation involving missile strikes or military bases can trigger volatility in global markets. Even if the physical damage at Al Udeid was limited, the political and strategic implications of the strike are enormous. The attack demonstrates that the confrontation between Iran and the United States has reached a level where major military installations are being targeted. Whether future incidents escalate further or diplomatic channels succeed in calming the situation remains uncertain. What is clear is that the strike on Al Udeid Air Base has already become one of the most dramatic moments in the unfolding conflict. Iran claims it delivered a powerful blow against a key American military hub. The United States insists that while missiles were launched, the damage was limited and the base continues to function. Between those two narratives lies a complex reality that the world is still trying to understand. As more information emerges in the coming days, analysts and governments will continue examining the evidence to determine exactly how much damage occurred and what it means for the balance of power in the region. For now, the world watches closely as tensions remain high, military forces stay on alert, and the story of the Al Udeid strike continues to unfold. Some experts warn that incidents like this can easily spiral into larger confrontations if retaliation cycles begin to intensify. Others believe both sides may attempt to contain the escalation using strong messaging while avoiding actions that could trigger a full-scale regional war. For military strategists, the attack also highlights the evolving role of missile warfare in modern conflicts. Precision missile technology has become one of the most powerful tools for projecting force across long distances. Countries like Iran have invested heavily in missile development precisely because such weapons can threaten distant targets without requiring large air forces. This reality has forced the United States and its allies to invest billions of dollars into missile defense systems designed to detect, track, and intercept incoming threats. The events surrounding Al Udeid Air Base will likely become a major case study for defense planners studying how these systems perform under real-world conditions. At the same time, diplomatic pressure is building internationally for de-escalation. Global powers are watching the situation carefully, aware that a broader conflict in the Gulf could have enormous consequences for global stability. For now, Al Udeid Air Base remains operational according to US officials, even as Iran continues to insist that the strike demonstrated its ability to hit critical American targets. As the dust settles and more information emerges, the world will continue analyzing what really happened during the dramatic strike that brought one of the most important U.S. bases in the Middle East directly into the center of a rapidly escalating confrontation. Stay tuned for further updates as this developing story continues to reshape the geopolitical landscape of the region.